Welcome to In the News with Double O Des. I'm Des Bernardo, giving you my perspective on news from South Africa and the rest of the world.
Good morning, this is Friday the 10th of July and I bring you two stories now. One that's been around for some time, but it relates to the other story that I'm bringing you this morning. And it's very important to know how the life will be choked out of you by people that are implementing New World Order ideology, which is to tax you into submission. And the first story that links in with this one speaks about the city of Cape Town that has actually gone and fined homeless people. Now, I've spoken about this before. The fact that a city administration, and yesterday I brought out the videos on councillor salaries, and I'll put a tag above so you can actually go and watch the video, see the salaries that these councillors are earning, the mayor is earning, and all the people in the mayoral committees and so on, that they don't have the brains and the common sense not to fine a homeless person and actually expect them to pay money. So I'll link both the articles underneath in the description of this video. So please, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to this channel. On this channel, I will bring you facts that comes from the city themselves or from the media themselves. So it's not something that is hearsay. These are things that are really happening, and it's actually frightening to know that people that parties that we voted for would actually elect people and select people of this caliber to run, for instance, the city of Cape Town, which is the case here. So because I've worked with many of these people and I've met many of them, I've had long discussions with many of them, many of the councillors that's in the city of Cape Town, that's when you start to realize that these people only care to keep their positions. And this is where the problem lies. And this is why we need to elect candidates independently. So if we go to the first article, I'm not going to go to it in detail. A previous member of the Democratic Alliance, who's now the ruling party in Cape Town, the good Secretary General Brett Herron, said on Wednesday that he received reports that homeless people were being held in lockdown at the contentious Strandfontein camp, which has since been broken down, and fined, that they were given fines. Now, there were many articles at the time on this, that homeless people were being fined, given a fine, and some of the articles even had some of these fines signed by the officer where 500 rand fines were handed to a homeless person. Now you have to be psychotic as a councillor to try and enforce something like that. There's something wrong with you as a person when you are trying to do something like that. It's inhumane. There's no humanity in you. You've become a drone robot of a system that cannot think anymore. And it's important that you go and read this and be aware of what's happening in the city of Cape Town. So if people think that things are going better here than in other places, you're making a big mistake. The Democratic Alliance run city of Cape Town is more New World Order focused than the ANC can ever be. And they are an enemy to the people, the organization itself, because they are listening to all these New World Order agencies. But it gets worse. In the latest article, and this is a new article, the headline reads, and this is from IOL. Remember, both these articles the links will be in the description below this video. City of Cape Town slammed for raising tariffs for broke ratepayers. They are raising tariffs right now, and Mayor Dan Plato is at the top, and in a picture, so you can see him there, the current mayor who's there to keep a position and do what he needs to keep the DA in power, because that's all he cares about. He cannot care about the people. If you see what he says, with the case of the gentleman that was removed from his shack, chased and tackled and all sorts of things in the nude, the mayor said, I don't want to throw these law enforcement officers under the bus. That was his answer. No inch of humanity, because all he's trying to do is please his party that's keeping him in power. The man does not belong in a mayoral position. He has no place being in public office, and we need to remove them and fast. So if I carry on with this article, The article deals with Stop City of Cape Town, and I have worked with Sandra Dickson, who is the head of Stop City of Cape Town, extensively in the past. And it's wonderful that Sandra has actually gone and taken them to task on many different things, especially the water situation in the past, the water scarcity. And I actually took a trip with Sandra Dickson some time ago, during that time of drought as well as water shortage, which I have said before was created. They made it a lot worse than it was, and I'll explain to you why in a video I will be posting today. So 2 big videos coming up today, the water shortage as well as the Rothschilds video. But let's see what actually happened. So the City of Cape Town actually charging people more when they have nothing left. Civil action group Stop City of Cape Town has criticized the move by the city to increase tariffs at a time when people are struggling to make ends meet. And that is the majority of people, the middle class people in the City of Cape Town. The city increased rates by 4%, electricity by 4.8%, water and sanitation by 4.5%, and refuse removal by 3.5% as of July the 1st. Which proves to you that they're completely out of touch with the people on the ground. Actually, completely and utterly out of touch with South Africa. And this is because they're getting the instructions from their New World Order agencies that have been funding them up until now. The DA cannot comply with everything that they say because they're just not able, and they need funding. They desperately need funding. They are retrenching staff at this stage, and they must be in quite a bit of a panic. Considering that while I was involved in the DA in the past, that money was a main thing, and power. So being elected and making money, those are the 2 main things. I mean, very seldom was anyone's plight ever spoken of, ever, in any meeting or in any discussion. And I found this extremely strange. I was waiting for 3 years to actually hear someone talk about people and their issues, but it didn't come. Let's carry on. New property categories were also implemented to enable lower or no rates to be charged for non-profit organizations and other charitable property owners, including organizations offering shelter for street people, early childhood development, and youth development. Now that's a no-brainer. It's not something you need to wonder about. It's something that should be obvious. The city's chief financial officer, Kevin Jacoby, said, and I quote, "The city is dependent on the income from rates and services to fund the delivery of water, sanitation, electricity, clinics, traffic lights, and fire services, among others. The city would have preferred to have no rates and tariffs increases this year because of the COVID-19 economic impact on the people of Cape Town. But as it is, the cost of providing services outpaces the income we get from rates and tariffs." Close quote. This psychotic human being needs to understand one simple thing. That soon we're going to stop paying them altogether because we are the government. We're going to take you out of government. You won't have a job anymore because we don't want you. Because you make stupid decisions like this. Maybe if you treated the people better, they'll be willing to give you rates and taxes. Have you ever considered that? So start thinking about that, Mr. Jacoby. Stop City of Cape Town founder Sandra Dickson said the city could have frozen tariff increases for at least this financial year. Well, that's common sense, right? And I quote, "Stop City of Cape Town received many complaints from the public who applied for relief from the city on the municipal bill. These complaints center around residents sending emails and calls for assistance from the city on the email and SMS lines provided. Many get no reply from the city. Those that do are interrogated and find it very difficult to qualify for this assistance, as the city requires heaps of paperwork and affidavits." Close quote, she said. This is Sandra Dickson speaking from Stop City of Cape Town, and you can join a Facebook group, Stop City of Cape Town, and help this fight against the city. She said the city offered no additional support to cash-strapped pensioners, and I quote, "The 3.3 billion the city mentions as relief is a total annual expenditure on basic services for non-ratepayers. This is not a new amount set aside for COVID-19 relief for the struggling working class." Close quote, she said. Now there's one simple point that I want to make at this stage. If you're a good government, the size of government should reduce. You should reduce the amounts that you're charging people. But no, you're not a good government. You want to increase power. You are employing more people. You are paying them more salaries. You've given all your councillors 3,400 Rand cell phone allowance. You have given all of them 400 Rand data allowances in the city of Cape Town. And your councillors are earning 43,000 Rand a month. This is what you're doing. And this is the truth. Because it's in your documents. I will just use your own facts and documents against you. You are disgusting. You need to all resign. The people of Cape Town will do it for you in any case. So just know that your time is up. Till the next video.